Hey, this is Mel again. You're tuning into my channel, Melanie Genuinely, and I would like to thank you. I always have to take the time to thank you, those of you that are stopping by my channel, watching the videos, and just giving an ear to this voice of mine. And over here, what I aim to do is encourage, influence, inspire, and uplift in a positive way. And I wanted to just talk about the agony of starting over in my weight loss journey. When I say starting over, it has been one of the hardest things for me to do and overcome. That is not an understatement. In 2020, when I first moved to Iowa with my husband at the time, I was forced to make a change in regards to my weight. And so we moved from Kansas City to Iowa, and I'm originally from the East Coast. So just even being in the Midwest, period, it was a new experience for me. And so I'm the type of person, I'm usually not scared to relocate to an area I've never been to before. So my husband and I decided that it was in the best interest at that time to relocate from Kansas City to Iowa. And I just wanted to be a supportive wife. I didn't see no problem with it. I felt like it would be a good thing for us because I had the assumption that we would have a better support system for our little girls at that time. So when we moved here, we already had a house lined up for us to live in. So when we got here, we came to the house. We got here late. It was like late on a Friday evening. I'd say like 12 o'clock on a Saturday morning. We arrived like after midnight. And so, we get to the house or whatever, and the house has stairs. Okay, so I should say, I'm not gonna say none of the houses I ever lived didn't have stairs, but I'm talking about, after from being in my 30s on, it had been a while since I lived in a home that had stairs. So, we go to sleep or whatever, upstairs or whatever, and so we get to moving after we wake up the next day. And I remember the first night we got here to Iowa and experiencing a pain in my knees like I never experienced in my life. Okay? When I say that the pain was bad, it felt like my kneecaps were going to crack in half. The pain was so bad. It scared me. And, you know, we started living in the house and going up those stairs. I was like, I can't do this. Now you got to think. You know, that year in 2020 was my turning 40 year. You know what I'm saying? April of 2020, I would be turning 40, and we moved to Iowa in February of 2020. So that was like 2 months prior to my 40th birthday. And I'm like, my knees are not supposed to be hurt like this. You know what I'm saying? And so, oh my God. I'm laughing not because it's funny, but because I just, the pain was that bad. And I started thinking about the episodes that I would watch, 600 Pound Life, and how they would talk about it would be a pain for them to not only go upstairs, but to go down the stairs. And, you know, in my mind, I'm like, well, I would think it would be easier to go downstairs than upstairs. When I tell you, when I think about it right now, the flashbacks I'm getting, like, feeling like your knees are gonna break in half, whether you're going up the stairs or down the stairs. And that was my wake-up call. That was my first wake-up call. And I was like, oh no, I have to lose weight, or I'm going to be sleeping on the couch. And that's not about to happen in this house, because no, when I got a comfortable bed, no, I would not be confined to a couch late at night and my whole family is upstairs asleep. No, And furthermore, I'm not about to be 39 and can't get up basic single family housing stairs. No, it's not about to happen. So at the time, my best friend, who is still my best friend, was raving on about Weight Watchers. And so, you know, she had me, I was eating it all up. You know what I'm saying? She was getting results or whatever. You know, that's my Betsy. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to try this. I'm going to sign up. Okay. I signed up and I was doing good. Immediately, I saw some progress. You know what I'm saying? And so I stayed with it or whatever. And I got down 30 pounds lighter. And I just felt so good. I felt lighter. I had more energy. You know, I was no longer experiencing that pain that I was feeling. Going up the stairs was not an issue. I could even, you know, hop, like jog a little bit up the stairs. You know what I'm saying? Because my energy levels had increased or whatever. Man, I felt so good. I looked good. Like, I look good now. You know what I'm saying? You know, my self-esteem is still intact. I feel like I'm pretty now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like I'm comparing myself to other women. I'm just saying how I feel about myself. I don't feel as though I'm an ugly person. Inside and out, you know. I feel like my insides is what brings about the beauty that I see, because I feel like I'm a beautiful person to get to know, you know, just as a human being, you know. Not saying I'm flawless, but just saying that I don't look to cause people pain intentionally, you know. So I was seeing results and everything, and then the issues within the household started derailing. I started allowing that to derail my progress. And by November of that year, I started seeing the weight come back on. You know what I mean? And September of that year, you know, my husband and I decided, okay, yeah, it's time to separate or whatever. And so from dealing with the separation, which I wasn't down about it, you know what I'm saying? It was just, you know how you know a storm is coming because you can see it off in the distance? That's how it was. You know, it wasn't a shock to me that we would be at the place of separation, but it was unexpected for it to happen so soon after moving to a new place that I thought was gonna make things a little bit better for us. And so we decided to separate, and from having to find a place, because I was not gonna stay there, you know, I couldn't. The living conditions, because I won't say too much, just know that the conditions underneath the household, underneath the roof of the household, were destroying my mental health. And it was putting me in a bad place. And my channel is a channel that talks about decluttering, organizing, you know, having a life of peace and all that stuff. And I really cannot live in certain environments. Certain environments just is not compatible. Certain environments are not compatible with my need to have living quarters that are free of clutter and organized. I cannot think in a disorganized space. And when I cannot think, then I get confused. And when I'm confused, I get frustrated. So one thing leads to another, because I feel like I should not have to live in a space that's disorganized. So there was no way that I was going to continue to live in the environment that I was in, because it was not the greatest of arrangements. I would just leave it at that. So, like I said, from finding a place to coming to terms with things regarding the separation, to thinking about facing the reality that I'm about to be a single mom, the very thing that I never wanted to be. I did not want to ever be or find myself in a position where I have to raise children by myself. I'm a single mom, and lo and behold, that's what I am, a single mom. And so thinking about all of that, and just still dealing with the stuff that's going on in the household, not feeling heard, not feeling seen, just things that were just not done right, with boundaries being overstepped. It was just too much. And so I had discovered years prior to, this situation, that when my stress is high, I run to food. I'm an emotional eater. If I'm happy, I want to eat. If I'm sad, stressed, it's more stress. And so all of that was going on, I started picking up bad habits again. And so I said to myself, I feel like in November, I was like, you know what? I'm about to move. I'm moving out in December. I'm just going to focus on getting prepared for my new life. Excuse me. And what I mean by that is learning how to adapt to not living with my husband anymore, not being a couple anymore, just going from being around people to only being around my kids. It was just like, it was a lot I had to digest. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to put my weight loss stuff. I'm not even going to focus on tracking and all that stuff. And so I moved out in December, and I felt like, whew, I can breathe. Whew, I can do some things now. I can get back on my weight loss thing. And that did not happen. Ever since December 2020, it's been up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And I can finally get to a place and talk about this, because not that I was ashamed to talk about it, because me and my best friend talked about this on the phone or whatever. But I have been so all over the place trying to adapt to being a single mom, to the point the stress of adapting, it's just like I kept reverting back to the way I cope with stress. And so it wasn't until last month, May 2022, wasn't until then that I started seeing slight results, some consistency. I seemed like before then I couldn't be consistent. It's like, okay, I see a little bit of progress and then revert back. And sometimes I felt like I was self-sabotaging. I haven't worked through that yet, but I'm just saying that's how I felt. Like I'll do good, and then all of a sudden I mess up. So one of the things, and this is what I wanted to talk about, one of the things that kept me in that hamster on the wheel cycle was that I constantly reminded myself of the success that I had. And it was like I agonized over starting over. It's like I couldn't let go of the former success that I had when I went on Weight Watchers. You know what I'm saying? So I found something that was similar to Weight Watchers that was free because I wanted to save some money. But I think Weight Watchers, at the time I was on it, I felt like it was worth the money that I was paying because I was getting results. I was investing in my health and so forth and so on. And, I just got an email that they're saying that it's now even better, and maybe I'll give it another try. But the tracking app that I'm using now it's not the app, it's me. You know what I'm saying? It has been me. And so I kept holding on. I couldn't let go. The memories of when I was 2 sizes smaller, you know what I mean? The energy, and instead of allowing that to be my fuel to remain consistent, it was like, it was an agony for me. Because now here I am, I gained back all of what I lost, and even losing it took sacrifice, it took dedication, it took commitment. It was not easy. It took me telling myself no when I wanted to say yes, and that does not feel good. And I'm like, dang, man. And then the thoughts of, dang, man, how far could I have been if I just stayed consistent? Even for a month, I could have been 15 pounds lighter by now, So I had all this stuff going in my mind. And that's why I say it's the agony of starting over, because for me, it was a pain. Starting over was something I did not want to do. And until I became okay with me having to start over, and it took God to get me to that place where I was okay and accepting of, okay, yes, that was your form of success. You can go beyond that this time, but you just got to do the work. Losing weight is not fun. Telling yourself no. And see, this is what you got to understand. I have a sugar addiction. I'm addicted to sugar, sweet stuff. And I have even said to myself, I'm like, if this is what being addicted to a drug feels like, I don't want it. Being addicted to sugar is like being, you have withdrawals. It's like sweet stuff just speak. Like, come give me. You know what I'm saying? And my habit has been, when I'm stressed, I don't want to cook. I'm going to grab the first thing I can grab. And oftentimes it's either a sweet item or like some chips. It's a snack. You know what I'm saying? And so when I was successful in my weight loss in 2020, I was successful because I didn't give in to those cravings. They spoke as loud then as they do now. Like, come give me, come give. But I was so dedicated, I was so committed to the process and to the decision that I had made, because the stairs was my why. I did not want to feel the pain I felt in my knees going up the stairs. And then on top of that, like, if I did not lose weight, I would not be able to get up the stairs. It wasn't even a matter of wanting to get up the stairs. I had to lose weight so I could get up the stairs. Like, that's why I giggled in the beginning of the video, because I'm like, I could not believe that me at 39, who never had problems like that with my knees, like, I literally was grabbing the rail with 2 hands to pull myself up. Like, I did not realize how much weight I was carrying. So right now, I am nowhere near where I want to be. But I can honestly say that by the grace of God, I am starting to see progress again. It's slow, but where my gratitude is at, it's for me seeing little progress and being okay with it. Because before, I don't know, I can't explain. It's just like, okay, I'll lose 2 pounds, and then what I do is I kept justifying bad food choices whenever I would lose weight. Or like, that's one of the reasons I was yo-yoing, you know, in addition to me agonizing over me having to start over. I'm like, oh, you did good for the past 3 days. You can go ahead and have that Snickers. And that was the wrong thing to do. And so last month, I feel like God started working on me through some sermons I was hearing, some sermons that were coming to my feed at the right moment that I needed to hear the sermons. And I feel like some stuff just broke off of me. Some mindset shifts happened for me to now be consistent and now not focus on the former success that I had. Because now when I weigh myself, I am consistently seeing the numbers go down on the scale. It's not like down, up, down, up. And the reason why is because I'm doing things differently now. But that agony is something real. It's something real. You know, it's almost like a pain. That's how it affected me. It affected me like my heart was broken. Like something was, like I was betrayed, or that's how deeply I was hurt by what I felt like was just losing all that progress that I made and having to start all the way back over. My highest weight that I ever hit was 280 pounds. I can't say that I am not 280 pounds, but I will say that coming into 2020, I saw me creeping back into that weight range, that 270, 280 weight range. I never got past 272. 272 is the highest that I have gotten back there. But I can say today, as of this recording, I am not even in the 270s anymore. And so as you see me do decluttering videos and stuff, you know, it's a form of exercise for me. I am more active. You know, I try to take my kids out more. I try to meal prep more consistently. There are things I'm doing to help aid me in my weight loss journey. So I am so grateful I did not get back up to 280. And I'm not even 270 something. And the weight is slowly but surely decreasing. I'm taking it one goal at a time. I have an ultimate goal, but it ain't even about the numbers for me. It's about me being consistent. If I can just be consistent, my greatest desire is to be consistent. Because if I'm consistent in doing the things that I need to do in order to see progress, I'm gonna see progress. I don't have to worry about the numbers. I don't have to worry about the weight coming off. It's gonna come off if I just do my part. And oftentimes that's the hard part. And overall, you know, I'm taking care of me. I'm taking care of me. I'm working on my skin. You know, my skin was much worse than what it is now. I'm not saying that it's worse now. I'm saying compared to now, it was in a much worse condition. You know, all from the stress. You know what I'm saying? So, not agonizing over having to start over. I'm not gonna sit up here and say, oh, it's just easy to let it go. No, I know what I looked like. I know what I felt like, the energy that I felt, how good I felt. I felt light. That's what I want back. I can care less about, oh, looking like this for this reason. No, when I say I like the way I look, I liked the way I looked in my clothes. You know, I liked the way I felt. I felt good. I didn't feel tired all the time. You know, just simple things like that, you know? So, I'm grateful for all the progress that I'm seeing, the slow progress, but the consistent and steady progress. And I just want to say that if anybody is going through what I went through, as far as agonizing with having to start over with something that you had success with before, just know you can be better than whatever that past success was. But if you have a problem getting past that, take it to God. I literally sit here and tell you, I lie to you not, I could not get past it until God used the preachers' sermons, the sermons that came through those preachers, to just speak to my spirit. And what people don't realize about God is that God is real. He lives, and his power is undeniable. There are things that we struggle with that we can't seem to overcome, that one touch from God, one word from God has the power to break habits and addictions out of your life that you just couldn't do on your own. I'm not here to debate. I'm not here to prove anything. I am proof. I am a living witness that I couldn't get past the agony of starting over. I mean, it almost took me, it's like I couldn't face it. I couldn't accept that, Dad, I got to start over, man. I really got to lose 30 more pounds. Because what I want to get to, I said my highest weight was 280. I want to get down to at least 180. Overall is the big picture. Am I trying to accomplish that in 6 months? No. But it's a simple fact that you were 30 pounds less this time last year, and you could have almost have reached your goal, and then you let life get to you and you allow yourself to be derailed, and you gain all the weight back that you had before. And another reason it became easier for me to gain the weight back on top of the stress, because I didn't have stairs to walk up anymore. So I had all this mental stuff playing in my head that was just it didn't benefit me. It did not help me accomplish any goals. But until the word of God came through sermons that were preached by two men of God, I couldn't do anything. I wanted to be consistent. And some people out there be like, oh, it's just all in your mind. And, oh, you can do whatever you put your mind to. Okay. Like I said, I'm not here to debate. And I'm not going to force anybody to agree with me or believe me. All I can say, until God started working on the inside of me, I couldn't get back on track. But now I'm back on track because I feel like God went deep down in a place in me that I couldn't get to as a human being. Some things in your life that you go through, it's spiritual. It's not physical. Or I should say, it's a spiritual problem that's showing itself up in physical ailments and symptoms. But it's something emotional and spiritual that's causing whatever symptoms that you see going on in your life. If, like, they say stress causes headaches and migraines, and stress causes all kinds of physical ailments. Well, let me tell you something. There's a root cause to stress too. You know what I'm saying? Stress is sometimes not just not getting enough sleep. Sometimes people do not sleep well at night because they are being bothered in their spirit and they don't understand that. That's a whole nother video. Y'all not about to take me there. But I just want to let you know that once I begin to get clarity through God's word, through those sermons, when those sermons begin to speak to my spirit, when God began to heal my spirit, okay, that's when the change in the physical began to happen. So even with me doing this YouTube channel, I could not be consistent with it until I started getting worked on in May. And so God had to work on my ability to be consistent, but there were things that were blocking that. There were root causes as to why I could not get over, why I agonized over starting over. So I just say all that to say that starting over can be painful. I don't think anybody wants to start over again. That's why a lot of women stay in relationships that are not good for them. That's why a lot of people stay in jobs and other kinds of arrangements that are serving them no purpose, that are depressing them, that is just destroying their peace because they don't want to start over. Some people are living in physical residences because they don't want to face the uncomfortability and the discomfort that comes with starting over. It's a real thing. And I just want somebody to be inspired by my story and see that you don't have to stay there, and that, weight loss is a journey, for real. People say weight loss journey. It's sad because it is. It is a journey. You don't get the success overnight. And if you have to start over, it's okay. Just don't stop. Just don't stay in a certain place too long. Don't justify staying in a certain place too long. If you fall, pick yourself back up and start over the next second. Take it 1 second at a time if you have to. I got to that point. And now I'm to the point where I can't weigh myself once a week. I have to weigh myself every day because I need to see where I'm at. That works better for me. If I mess around and eat 15 cookies, which I have not, but let's say I eat 15 cookies. Okay, I ate 15 cookies. Okay, let's not do that in this next second. The next second, you can make the decision to not do that again. The next day, you can prepare your mind for when that temptation comes back. You know, we focus a lot, you know, on exercise, physical exercise, but we need to put as much work and emphasis into exercising our mental capacity to discipline ourselves as far as when temptation comes and you're able to be like, no, I ain't about to derail myself. No, I come too far. No. And that's how I was doing in my first weight loss run. When that Snicker bar would speak to me, I'd be like, nope. No. It was like a relationship. Like a old no good person trying to come back in my life that I knew was no good. And that's what I compare it to. Like a old no good boyfriend trying to come back into my life and mess things up for me. That's how I view food. That's how I gotta look at my relationship with food. I have to look at it like, okay, I can't run to you when I have a God I can run to who is able and willing to hear about any problems, any stress that I'm feeling. Food is not my friend. Food was never created. Food was not created to meet any other need or serve any other purpose but to feed your physical hunger. Any emotional emptiness that you feel or emotional things that you're going through, that's what God is for. That's what God is for. Now, when I'm stressed, I talk through it. Or I pray. I tell God how I feel. Or I go listen to a sermon. I do something else other than just sitting there eating a whole bag of chips. You know what I'm saying? So as you see me do these decluttering videos, yeah, my body is not down yet. You know what I'm saying? It's getting there. I can tell when I put my hands on my waist, you know what I'm saying? I can see little differences in myself that you may not recognize. But just give me some grace. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say. I'm not about to sit up here in front for nobody, but I'm not going to stop doing decluttering stuff or showing my whole self on camera because I'm not the size I want to be. I will be. But until then, I'm going to be me. You know what I mean? Because like I said, my self-esteem is still intact. I see myself as a beautiful young woman. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm young. But, yeah. I'm not hating on me. But I just pray that something I said would resonate with you through this video and help you to be encouraged that just because you mess up don't mean you have to stay in that moment. You have another second to start getting it back right and to make up for that wrong decision you made. It's gonna happen. But don't stop. Don't give up. Don't beat yourself up. And don't keep replaying past things that will hinder you from walking into your future. I made that mistake and I paid the price for it. I could have been so much further than where I am now. I could have already reached my goal if I had stayed consistent. But here's the thing, I don't focus on that a lot, because if I stay in that mindset, I would defeat my own self. And that's not what I'm on this journey to do. I'm on this journey to be the best me I can be for myself and my kids. So please, I hope something I said encouraged you through this video. And if it did, leave me a comment, shoot me a message on I do gotta get used to answering messages on IG, but hit me up some kind of way, my email, whatever. I want to hear from you. I'm here to serve you through my life, through my stories, through my failures, life lessons, whatever. So, like I always say, be blessed and stay blessed. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.